furnishings for this set of the Buddy Pough Show provided by Whitash Furnishings. Whitash Furnishings is a proud sponsor of the Buddy Pough Show.
South Carolina State kicking off the Morgan State. Coach, a great opportunity on Thursday night before a national television audience.
It was. It gave us a chance to kind of show what we could do for the committee and the posters, all those guys. And you see Mark Keith Hamlin making a play there at the start of the game. And then Lataris Douglas kind of fits in there. Jason and Ronell kind of knock him back. And we come back here and get a nice tackle here by Samaj Moody.
Samaj Moody playing that corner position. South Carolina State offense, and we talk about Malcolm being on target. Coach, he has been on target the last 4 weeks now.
You're right. This is a little pass out into the flat to Richard Christie. Really about the only play pass play that Richard caught all day, but you know, we're starting now to find Tyler McDonald, and Tyler's a freshman from down at Stratford High School down in Berkeley County, and he really has started to come along, and hopefully he's going to continue to develop into a Trey Young kind of looking guy. And then you see them on the little naked bootleg play. They get a nice game there. Christian Thompson finally gets him down, but you know, we do get him stopped here eventually. I think we make a nice play here. Marshall and Lataris again. Douglas is involved with a play on the little screen play, and they try to run around a little bit. And David Irby. If you run around here long enough, you'll find David Irby because he's always making plays. We get him stopped and go back here. Malcolm throws the ball here. There's Tyler McDonald again. I thought he dropped that ball for a minute, but you know, makes a nice run. And he runs good with the ball after he catches it. We get down here to I think Antoine. I think we get Ashton Jordan running the ball here. And Ashton's beginning to really come back into his own again. We were really excited about Ashton at the beginning of the year when he got hurt at the Florida A&M game, and I thought that had a big part of our offensive woes. And then, you know, we finally get him back. You know, I think that gives us a chance to be a pretty good offense again. We throw a ball out here to Antoine Carr, and Antoine's interfered with. We can't get it in. You know, this was one of the tougher games that we had, you know, in the red zone. Ordinarily, we just kind of zap it right in, but these guys did a nice job of stopping our goal line offense. But we do have Blake Erickson. Blake is the guy you know you can pretty much depend on to knock it through. And you know, even though we got a new guy in the formula, Richard Cube, holding for us, he continues to do a nice job for us.
9-play, 57-yard drive for the Bulldogs. 20-yard field goal by Blake Erickson. We go back on the defense coach and force a punting situation here up in Morgan State.
Right. You saw a bunch of our guys there making a play there, just kind of hemming them up. I think Urban and Dominique and those guys, and then they punt the ball here. And Joel Taylor has done a real nice job with our punt return, punt block team. And Richard Christie runs back the ball all the way to about midfield, a bit past midfield. And then we go with a little double jailbreak screen here. And this is when you really kind of see what kind of runner Tyler is. He's a pretty fast guy here. And you're going to see another angle of this as they, you know, as you see our offensive line making some nice blocks there, and Norwood gets a nice block. And I'm on Javard Nathan all the time about getting on the ground. These guys, when they cut people, they make people jump around and create space that way. And Sam Timothy also had a nice cut block. So our offensive line created a nice play there for the jailbreak screen for a touchdown.
47 yards on that completion from Malcolm to Tyler McDonald. Extra point made it 10-0. Donovan Richardson, the Bulldogs coach, not letting Delonte Williams do anything on offense.
You can't get away from Donovan now. If you think you can run away from him, you need to try to find another method. You know, Delonte is running around here. You see Donovan gaining on him here, but now they get out here and, you know, get the football down the field here. They finally get a score out of this drive. And, you know, a couple of the plays here were because of penalties. I think we gave them an opportunity to get down close, and then they get a little bit of a deep ball there against one of our kids, and then they get it in for a score.
David Brown, 7-yard touchdown run. 2 15-yard penalties aided this drive for Morgan State. A 7-play, 70-yard drive cuts it to 10-7 at this point. But then, Coach, the offense really takes over. Offensive line giving Malcolm the time, and he knew what to do with it.
Yeah, Malcolm does a nice job of stepping up in the pressure. And, you know, throws the ball in the little underneath route to Trey Williams. Trey is really getting to be a dependable guy for us, too. You kind of know where he's going to be, and he catches the ball pretty good. And then we sprint out here to throw it, and they kind of leave Trey uncovered. I think they think that Elmo is going to hurt him on the little out route, and Malcolm sees him come free deep. And, you know, we get a quick answer to their touchdown.
37-yard pass off his back foot. Malcolm with the throw on target. A 3-play, 57-yard drive. Only took a minute and 12 seconds for the Bulldogs to regain control control, and that sort of set the tone.
It did. You know, anytime a team scores on you, if you come back and answer immediately that way, I think it does do a nice job of setting the tone for your team.
Defense able now to sort of pin their ears back as they put pressure on Morgan State. Big play here.
And you see Donovan making another play here. Donovan is not only a guy who's skilled enough to run down and catch a guy who's an athletic guy, but he's also a guy who's got good hands. And then we start another drive here. You know, Malcolm hits Elmo over the middle. It's good to see Elmo back. He's been out for a couple of weeks with a shoulder injury, and then we give it to our big back here. This is Devin Ware. You know, Devin's really going to be a good player for us. He's a sophomore from up at Rock Hill, South Carolina, and when you give it to him, you know it's going to be pretty much downhill. And you don't have to worry much about him, kind of avoid anybody. But at the same time, I like to see him push the pile. And then we give it again to Ashton Jordan. You see Ashton bouncing outside and goes in for the score.
Coach, not only that, you talk about the offensive line. You're happy to get that offensive line back to near 100%. And to see him play this well this late in the season speaks volumes if we get an opportunity to play longer.
It does. We've had a good bit of those guys that have had some injury problems, but we do seem to be getting them all healthy back again. And that's what makes this team exciting again, when you can get those guys going. And they come back right at the end of the half and get the ball on the field here. This Delonte Williams guy is really loose, and we're not rushing a whole lot of guys because we kind of broke it up in the secondary. We don't really want to, do too much there to take any chances, but they do find a guy at the very end, but he drops it, and they end up kicking a field goal, and that does in the half with us up, I think, something like, what's the score?
It was 7. It's right now the score is 24-10. South Carolina State. There you go. South Carolina State leading at the half. We'll take a time out here on the Buddy Pough Show. When we come back, we'll have Thursday's exciting second half highlights on this edition of the Buddy Pough Show. The Palmetto Health Injury Report, Coach, and it's sort of good to see that these players that are listed are players who contributed mightily on Thursday night.
Well, yeah, it's the good and the bad in this. We've got some guys here that are a little bit banged up, and Yara and Mason have been banged up for a while, but now we got some guys that are out for the season. I don't know if that can be something that we can get over or not, but we're going to try.
You start talking about playing well on Thursday night, Coach. This was a situation where I thought, because it was so cold, it might make a difference. It didn't seem to make a difference for the football team on Thursday night.
We don't seem to be affected a whole bunch by the cold, even when we've gone up and played at places like Appalachian. We just kind of go out and play. We used to have heaters and all that kind of stuff. We just kind of go out and play now.
I'll tell you what, it worked well on Saturday night. We'll take a time out here on the Buddy Pough Show. When we come back, we'll go back to Thursday's second half highlights. South Carolina State leading Morgan State 24-10 at the half.